One of the biggest stands here at IBC, which makes sense, is Thomson, because it is a broadcast show. Obviously, we're interested in the mobile aspects of that. I'm joined here by Jan Korku from Thomson. Yeah, and just mobile, big topic for you, I know, at the moment. We were talking before we did this a little bit about some of the solutions you can bring to the mobile operators within TV. How do you view that and how the mobile operators have approached mobile TV so far?
Yeah. Well, mobile TV is at a tipping point currently where we see there's no doubt about the end user demand for such a service. The question, however, remains about business models and how broadcasters and mobile operators work together. And Thomson tries to reconcile those two worlds together, bringing our expertise in the video and telecom operator. Just to give you a couple of examples of what we do. First, we work on the customer experience, the end user experience with enhanced video. So an example we're showing here at IBC is our automatic recropping on the encoder that enhances the perceived quality of the video by just focusing on the area of interest. So this is embedded in our encoder product range currently. Second point that we're doing is trying to reduce the network cost. Okay, in DVB-H, there's a lot of questions, or any actually broadcast mobile TV, there's a lot of questions about the cost of the network infrastructure. So we're trying to solve this by having special network design, by optimizing the coverage, and also reducing the power consumption in our transmitters. This reduces the overall capex. The third thing that we're doing is actually enabling various business models. Not a single country is identical, and we need this flexibility with the service platform being able to be shared across various mobile operators, sharing a single frequency, and being able to move in various directions. So as an example, the service platform can be used both for DVB-H and 3G. So in this way you work on the complementarity of those two networks. Another evolution may be to have DVB-T and DVB-H on the same platform with pushing content on the set-top box and use that service platform to manage the mobile TV service as well. So there are various ways and even innovations that Thomson brings from its expertise in broadcast transmission as well as the telecom operators to reconcile those two.
Okay, so there's if we just start with those three things, then you mentioned the way the business models work out. What does that mean, business model? Everyone says business model. Are we just talking about how they're going to make money and who gets that money? Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, there's two things to consider. Is first how you create value on the whole value chain. Okay, and then the second point is how you share that value. To create value, the first thing to reduce is the cost. So this is what we're doing on the network side. And then how you share the value, the optimized way for us is to have a single platform with various mobile operators that then share the investments. And then on the various business models, whether it's free-to-air or pay TV, I'm not going to go into that detail, but we believe that it must be a blend where you have bundles of basic services and then extra pay TV services and premium services added as an option for the end user, with the connection to mobile cellular network to enable additional content consumption through unicast.
Okay, so if we work back, we mentioned cost there, well you did mention the cost of the network and taking that out. Is that going to be really crucial? Is it, are the margins going to be fine and that's going to be something that is going to make a difference?
Well, it makes a lot of difference if you share a network cost among various operators, that's for sure. But just to give you a couple of figures. Considering 3G, we see that basically in Europe to cover one person it costs roughly 60, 70 or 80 euro per person. Okay, not all of it is for video, but a big part of it is actually for video as planned by operators. Now, broadcast technologies reduce drastically that cost for the video services, which are the largest audience services. It's just a couple of euro per users. Okay, so we need to put things in perspective and use broadcast technologies to offload cellular network so that mobile operators can focus on value-added services and why not broadband access on mobile rather than large audience, which is video services, which is best distributed using the broadcast technologies.
Okay, because we have spoken obviously to one or two people saying, operators can go so far with video and streaming over 3G that really that broadcast investment decision, they may just delay that and keep delaying.
Yeah, it's true as long as they have capacity on the network, but we can hope that they'll be successful. And if they have so many users using video, the network will be needed to be upgraded with more node Bs, more power, and this is where the equations of bringing broadcast technologies comes into play.
And the first of the things you mentioned there when we started talking there was the way that you deal with the content itself and re-encode. Can you show us a bit more around that?
Yeah, sure. Well, we did a couple of studies with focus groups, and we realized that by improving the resolution or the bit rate, the acceptability of a content can be tripled. This means more willingness to pay for the service. Now, one of the limiting factors, obviously, on those little screens is the viewing comfort, and some of the content is not suitable. So there's a lot of discussions whether you should have dedicated content. We think to start with, we can reuse existing content and just work on it and enhance the perceived quality. And so we have 15 patents on trying to anticipate what the human eyes are going to look at on any given picture. And so we create these markers on the video which define a zone of interest, and this zone of interest is the one that you actually transmit.
So that would be what? So where there's movement, or what are those things?
Yeah, this is depending on the movement, the color, the contrast, a couple of subjective factors that we had to benchmark with actual human eyes. So the result is that people, the acceptability of the same content is multiplied by 2 just by doing so. And then you can actually put a bit more bit rate, perhaps a bit higher resolution, and so you have a perfect viewing comfort, and you can stay 2 hours watching the movie.
And so 2 hours watching a movie on that?
That's what kids actually do on the phones, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and so the advantage obviously for an operator therefore is, the more viewing time at any other services you want to wrap around that, he's got more exposure to the user.
Absolutely, and that's what the main difference that we expect from a broadcast service with bigger bandwidths compared to unicast, where the bandwidth is fairly limited, sometimes down to 96 kilobits per second, is the average viewing time. In 3G currently is only 2-3 minutes. The broadcast commercial deployments and trials are up to an hour. An hour in Korea, in Japan, 50 minutes in Italy. So we expect a significant difference in the way people consume content on broadcast or unicast.
Okay, now we're seeing some of the markets in Europe with the regulation sort of free up. I think people are expecting to see France and Switzerland, Austria, these countries. Is Thomson, how are things looking for you from a business perspective in those markets? Are you winning some contracts?
Yeah, we can't disclose too many contracts here, but what we say is that we are participating in about 70% of the commercial and pre-commercial development of broadcast mobile TV. So the contracts that we've announced already are in Russia. In Italy, we are present in all operators. We're gaining a lot of momentum in Africa, where we are present in 8 or 9 countries now. We're present in Latin America, in Asia, all over the world. Mobile operators are using Thomson solutions in almost 3/4 of the times. Yeah.